Hey everybody, good morning. Mestre Sukuri coming to you with another video here on Mestre Vibes YouTube channel. This morning I already did a 16-minute video on Instagram, and I've decided that I need to be more organized in how I put out information. So the Instagram account will be more and more in Portuguese, and I'll be talking about different topics such as how I live my day-to-day life and how I run my capoeira group and my school and everything I do in a way so that I hope that it helps other people, especially Brazilians who are leaving Brazil or in Brazil and have an opportunity to improve and to think about how they're doing things as they grow their capoeira groups. Okay? Today, I want to talk to you about you. Okay? I've been getting a few emails here and there, once every 2 or 3 weeks from different people I know and from people I've created relationships with over the year from Europe, United States, and Asia. And the question that I'm getting more and more, and I feel this is because people are seeing an end to the COVID-19 pandemic coming within the next year, or possibly for some countries more in the next 6 months. I hope Japan will be one of those countries that in the next 6 months we'll have enough vaccine to be able to restart everything. Okay? So, what is the question? Mestre, I'm thinking about starting to teach capoeira. When do I know I'm ready? Guys, capoeira is such a all-encompassing organic thing that you have to understand the fighting side, the music side, the cultural side, the historical side, the movement side. And this is something that takes years to develop. Years upon years upon years. I'm still developing it after 30 years of capoeira. So, I think the best thing for me to say is, you're ready to start teaching capoeira when you can humbly say, I'm ready to start teaching capoeira. I've seen people who started teaching capoeira with less than a year of capoeira because, as we say, in the Valley of the Blind, the person with one eye is king. If you go somewhere and no one's doing capoeira, no one's ever done capoeira, and their only access has been YouTube, and you have a year and a half, and you want to start something, then by all means. But you remember, once you start capoeira, I want to bring in here and say, guys, capoeira is the original trolling network. And what do I mean by that? Before the internet, anytime you started capoeira teaching, people were trolling you. Oh, that person isn't qualified. Oh, that person doesn't come from the right area. Oh, that person isn't Brazilian. Oh, that person isn't, from the roots area of capoeira. Guys, there will always be people who will be attacking you and trying to knock you down for teaching capoeira. But this isn't just capoeira. This is anything. I've seen so many other types of cultural things such as yoga, BJJ, where people are constantly putting down other people. Guys, when will you be ready to teach capoeira? When you can honestly say to yourself that I will stick with it. You understand what I'm saying? I will stick with it. Because the only way to become part of the capoeira community, the only way to grow, to grow your group, to grow your students, is to do it. Who's more of a capoeira teacher? For example, someone who's been doing capoeira 10 years but has never taught. In my new book, the Capoeira Fire, I talk about the client, the student, and the disciple. If a client has been doing capoeira for 10, 15 years and they've never taught capoeira, should they really criticize someone who's only been doing capoeira for 2 or 3 years and wholeheartedly wants to do this? This isn't something, guys. Let's get past the ignorance of capoeira belongs to Brazil. Capoeira belongs to Brazilians. Capoeira belongs to Afro-Brazilians. Capoeira is not something that has been patented. Legally, you cannot say it belongs to anyone. Me, I love the base is Afro-Brazilian, and I'm very involved with Afro-Brazilian culture, and I love it. It's been a part of my life for many years, and it'll continue to be a part of it. But capoeira is not something you can do. I remember there were like jokes and stories about people saying, oh, maybe I should have patented the word capoeira when it first came to Japan. And I've heard the story that Mestre alone should have tried to have patented it. I don't know if it's true, so Mestre alone, if you see this or somebody knows them, guys, please let me know. Because I just heard stories, right? People make up stories, people say stories, and I heard stories of, you should patent the word capoeira. You should copyright it, right? Guys, you can't. Can you copyright yoga? Can you copyright Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? You can copyright names such as Capoeira Zoador or Gracie Jiu-Jitsu or so-and-so's yoga, but you can't copyright the core thing. Why? Because it doesn't work in the real world. So, when are you ready to teach capoeira? I would say the bare minimum to teach capoeira, you have to at least be able to run a roda. Does that make sense? What I would say is you know how to organize a roda. You can put some moves together. You're passionate about what you're doing, because level and quality of capoeira is completely different for every single person. Like what level I was at when I first taught capoeira is completely different than what somebody else might be. It might be completely different of what we're just talking about, a client of capoeira who has been doing capoeira for 15 years, and then all of a sudden they want to teach. Their quality of movement and of ability of everything might be incredibly high for all we know. But the important is that once you start teaching, you have to remember you are no longer the student. You are no longer the client. You are responsible for the growth of the group, the growth of the quality of everything. You are directly responsible. So I'm not saying, are you ready to teach capoeira? Are you ready to take on the responsibility of teaching capoeira? Is a better question I would give back to those people who are asking me. I know someone in Thailand who's been teaching capoeira for several years, but they've been doing capoeira in Thailand for over 20. I have a lot of respect for this person because they're doing what they passionately want to do and have taken the responsibility and invested in their growth in capoeira. Let's say, for example, you know how to play the 3 beating bows, or even if your group just uses 1 beating bow or 1 pandero, whatever. You know the basic way to set up a roda. So you know how to prepare people for that basic way. I'm not saying you have to be able to do a backflip. You don't have to be able to do all this crazy stuff. What I am saying is, can you run a roda? Do you have enough knowledge to prepare people to hold a roda? Let's say it's 3 beating bows, two panderos, 1 agogo, 1 atabaki. Let's say you prepare 7 people for that, and that people are able to play those instruments and sing even the most basic songs. Could even be simple songs like la 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 la, to create that energy, that ashe of capoeira. And then you would have, let's say, 10 people who can play the capoeira, switch in and switch out, and then switch with the instruments. So 17 people. But then you don't even really need that. What you need is someone who can at least play 1 beating bow or a pandero and are growing, are practicing so they can improve their ability at the different instruments and at the different parts of capoeira. So, when are you ready? Not so much as, are you ready to assume this responsibility? It's been a very interesting experience for me over the 20 years that I've been in Japan teaching capoeira. When I first came here, people used to ask me, right, when are you leaving? Because Japan is traditionally not a place people immigrate to. I'm an immigrant. I have immigrated to Japan. Now I'm a permanent resident. The first few years, when are you leaving? As the time passes, how long do you plan to stay? As the time passes, you get married, you have a kid, you open your academia. Let's see what that person's going to do. Time passes. Wow, this person's stable. More time passes. You do more, you grow more. You get a second generation, a third generation of capoeiristas. Then people start to finally think of you as part of the community. But this takes time. So are you ready to invest that time? I'm not saying you just have to teach. Once you start teaching, you can never stop. You have to go forever. What I'm saying is you have to also be aware of the responsibility of teaching and starting a capoeira group. I hope this helps. I hope you guys have a lot of good information and a lot of drive and are getting ready for when everything reopens. I'm not saying anyone should just go out and teach. I'm answering the question, when are you ready? And in my opinion, when you think you're ready to take on the responsibility, when you think you're ready to organize a simple roda, to organize a class, not at the highest level, because no one is born a mestre or a mestre. No one is born professional teacher of capoeira. It takes time, okay? Do your best. Try to have good connection with the people you're involved with. For example, I have a couple of students, very, Casquinha, my like a baby girl to me, my little sister. She moved back to Poland. She's planning to open her own Capoeira Zoador class in Poland. I can't wait to have that t-shirt. And I told her, look, you've got 7-8 years of capoeira. Now you have to prepare yourself to teach it. And she's doing a fantastic job. We communicate at least twice a week. Communication is going to be a very strong and important thing. I still see a lot of people whose groups have no, or teachers who have no communication. It's kind of like just waiting. Guys, up until now, people have been complaining a lot about teachers coming to an area, like a mestre or mestre comes, they get paid, they don't care about the quality, they give the cordons and they get out. As I said in my book, with more and more stuff coming out on social media, social networking and everything, more and more stuff's going to come to light. When people ask students, well, who's your mestre? And they said, oh, so-and-so is my mestre. And they say, well, what type of information do you have? And then they can say, we don't have anything. It's going to be put out in the wash, just like the roda. Communication helps to clean up everything. I hope this helped, and I hope you guys like it. Like I said, my Instagram account, I'm going to be doing more stuff in Portuguese. YouTube, Mestre Vibes, I'll be doing more stuff like this in English, these kind of videos. If you're interested in doing Capoeira University is my new project, which is a professional course for capoeira players based on 2 master's degrees, 30 years of experience, and professional entrepreneur here in Japan for capoeira and cultural arts. Take a look at my Patreon link, my new book, Capoeira Fire. I've put the link below for the ebook, and I'll also put the Amazon link if you'd like to order it on paperback. Guys, I love getting comments. I love positive feedback. I love critical thinking. If you have anything you'd like to add to this conversation, just let me know. Let's get together and let's improve our most beloved art of capoeira. Like, subscribe, and I'll get back to you guys soon. Have a beautiful day.